Hey guys, Rascal here. I'm filming this a couple days before Dorian's supposed to hit Georgia. Today is Tuesday, September the 3rd. I know I promised for a uh, running video of Outlaw for this weekend. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm not having time on the weekends to do a running video. I'm sorry about that. That's something on this phone. Notifications of something. I'll check that in a little bit. I've just been, for the first time, just got started cutting my trails in. So that just started. So that's why the trail walkthrough hasn't come through yet. Also, this is kind of a talk thing with y'all. Most of y'all here that are my viewers also watch Magnet007 on YouTube. Now, if y'all was watching not his last live stream, but the one before his last one, notifications, guys. Ignore all this stuff. The live stream before last, or whatever, the one he done, what, Monday? I think it was Monday. May have been Sunday or something. One he done this past weekend. He was talking about, not the one where he was talking about doing the new trucks. I don't know. Anyway. No, I know what it was. He was talking about unboxing the hex adapters he had ordered for his HG P404 that he had put a Raptor body on. He was doing a live stream on that. If you get there and we're reading the comments, or go back and watch it and read the comments on it, you'd noticed I hinted about a new project in the plans, not nothing that's straight out set in stone. But those of you who have been around on the forums with me since RC Sparks Community Forum, y'all remember? Okay, that was the local school, if y'all heard that. If y'all remember, then I bought the last of the first generation SCX-10s. Outlaw is one of the last of the first generation SCX-10s. When I bought Outlaw, the only SCX-10.2s was the 10.2 kit and the XJ RTR. Those were the only two SCX-10.2s out there. In fact, when I bought Outlaw, I was looking at the Axial site for about a year before that, and the one I really wanted, I was wanting that Ram Power Wagon by Axial with the honcho cage. I was wanting both the bed and the honcho cage so I could swap between the two. But that truck, it wound up being discontinued literally a month before I had the money up to buy any RC. And I was still doing the coin toss, heads Axial, tail Vatera, and I was actually wanting the Vatera K5 Blazer. I was wanting that. And in fact, I was just about coming close to buying that kit. Then it rocked on. It got about Christmas time. When I got the money saved up, it was right about Christmas time. And Hobbytown, which is A-Main Hobbies. Well, Hobbytown's owned by A-Main. They had dropped the price on the Deadbolt down to like $270. It was $269.99, free shipping. And I seen that, and I had the money, and I didn't really care for the Maxxis Trepadors or the Walker Evans officially licensed plastic glue bead wheels. I didn't like them. And I spent an additional, what, I think $100 with the truck, and bought mud tires and a set of G-made wheels that looked like Land Rover stuff, or just some Steelies, but they were plastic. But they were actual beadlock wheels. So, but I did get Outlaw put back together, guys. I really did. I did. I've got pictures up on the forum, and I've done a video. In fact, my last video was talking about me getting Outlaw back together finally. You know, so he's drivable. I've been driving him. But anyways, the coin flip, back to what I was saying about that. And Hobbytown dropping the price down to under, took a $300 truck and brought it down to mid $200 price range. I could not turn it down, because at the time when I was looking at this truck, I was looking at the SCX10. I was looking at the Vitara Ascender, and I was also looking at a G-made Komodo. Now, at the time, the Komodo was a fairly new truck. I mean, it was like 6 months old when I started looking at it, and I'm like, and it was only available in a kit at the time as well. In fact, at the time I bought Outlaw, the Vitara Ascender had just released the 68 F100 in a bind and drive package, which I had thought about. I mean, I was looking at that, and it was expensive. The Bronco was out; it had been out for a while. I mean, when I was talking to guys asking about it, everybody said, "Yeah, the Ascender's a good truck, but so is the SCX10. The SCX10 has parts available. The Ascender's still a new truck," and I mean, it was. It was only like a year old. The SCX10 2 was just being released, so you know. But anyways, because Outlaw is that old, I mean, he's a 3-year-old truck, he's getting harder to find parts for. I mean, besides going with Asian companies and having to, you know, and really just take a gamble. Anytime you buy from, as my friend Magnet calls it, the land of the clones, you really are taking a gamble. Because with Chinese parts, you could spend $2 and you get a part that's worth $200, or you could take that same $2 and you get something that's only worth 2 cents. I mean, I bought a servo horn from a very, very, very well-known website for buying parts for your that everybody is buying RC parts from. That was supposed to fit a 25 tooth servo, and when I got it, brand new, the teeth were already stripped out. Not cut. No, they were cut, but they were cut in so fine that they broke. I mean, the metal was made out of such low quality metal that the teeth in there that were supposed to hook onto the servo, the teeth in the horn that were supposed to hook onto the output on the servo, had sheared off in shipping. But I mean, hey, it was a $2 servo horn, wasn't worth 2 cents to me. Now, I bought a whole package for like, I forget, I think it was like, it's like what, 20 some odd servo horns I bought, again from Land of the Clones. Red alloy, good, and they're good servos. They're good servo horns. I mean, top notch. Like, I have them on just about all my trucks, except for the one that the steering's busted on. But it is what it is. I'd hinted about a new project. And the project I'm thinking about is getting an SCX-102 builder's kit. It's just the raw SCX-102 chassis with the modifications I make to a truck already installed in the kit. It comes with the metal steering links. It comes with metal suspension links. You know, it's metal where I want metal, and it's plastic where I want plastic. And it has the good Wild Boar 2 drive shafts from Axial. From what I've seen, from watching other guys who overpower their rigs and other guys that underpower their rigs and guys like me that just run the hell out of them in brushless mode. Those hold up better than all the other plastics, and from what I have seen from other guys, they hold up better than some metal drive shafts. Now, I personally have a set of metal drive shafts that I bought from Land of the Clones for my HGP 402, also known as Project Shop Truck, that so far I only have one installed in it, and it's holding up good. It's beautiful. But what else I gotta tell y'all? I know that. Yeah. The next trail side chat, hopefully, because as much trail as I've got cut in today, when I get a chance to cut into to do another, to cut into the trails, I'm gonna get the Robert E. Lee Natural Bridge. I'm gonna get cleared up in and around it, and that's gonna be the spot that all my trail videos are from. My trail side chats are gonna be from now on. And this next part's specifically for Magnet because of that bit there on the his live stream where we were chatting. It even got to a spot on facial hair. Look, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I have a beard because I'm tired of going in. I got tired of going into places like GameStop, Play and Trade, even Walmart. Big brand store. Go to Walmart and be asked to see your ID to buy a stupid game. I mean, stupid, I'm talking, well, any Rockstar North product. And I'm not talking Grand Theft Auto. I'm talking Midnight Club Racing. You go in there, throw Midnight Club Racing on the counter. At age 19, throw Midnight Club Racing on the counter. Sir, I need to see your ID. I'm like, really? It's Midnight Club. It says E10 plus. No, sir, I need to see your ID. Stupid. And this mop up here, that's still a bit of rebellion from high school. I had to keep it cut short in high school. After high school, I said, you know what, I ain't getting it cut all the time. Now I'm lucky if I get it cut once a year. And it don't really get that long. I mean, the longest it gets is like, what, one of the last, I think the first face cam video I done was after 2 years of growth. And it don't get much longer than this. I mean, it gets long. It'll come down to here, but it don't get that long. Anyway, what else we got going on? Yeah, besides facial hair and then the other hair. I know I got something to tell y'all. Something else I was thinking about. I know I need to make a script before I actually start doing this because a lot of this is just all right off the top of my head. That's told y'all about that. Yeah, the other truck. The other thing, yeah. I was also talking about a boat. That's the one end of the RC hobby I've always loved is RC boats because I'm surrounded by water. I have the Flint River less than 10 miles away from me. I have friends with fish ponds. I can go and run boats around in the fish pond if I want. There's the creek behind the house, but it don't really get, when it gets deep enough to run a boat in. It's also the time of year that you're carrying a pistol in one hand and it's literally you have a pistol in one hand and an umbrella in the other. That's what it is, yeah. Because it's what's coming. You have the pistol because of creatures that nobody likes, and there are some people that like them, but those people are crazy people who like these animals, not normal people. Most normal people shoot these animals. Overgrown legless lizards is what they is. Yeah, but like I said, just something. The boat was something, pull around behind Outlaw and do all that. Because part of with Outlaw, I'm kind of converting him to be a heavy recovery truck with all the, because I wanted to keep him as stock as possible for all this. But to do that, I would have to upgrade literally everything. And, while we're here on the subject, the axles, y'all know, I ordered new axles for Outlaw a while back, that I put on there. I was looking at and seriously thinking about buying a set of Red Cat Gen 8 axles to put the portals under it to lift the truck up. But I talked myself out of it because I really didn't want to do that. Because that would then mean that I'd have to take the bumper off and take the frame rail connector out and slide that in and hook everything up and then hopefully get the bumper connector to fit. Anyway. So, thing out here for my viewers, those of you who are forum members, those of you who are not, down below, forum link, please come join us. Membership's free. We talk about everything on-road driving, which is your daily drivers, off-road cars, your off-road trucks, lawnmowers, stuff like that. We have set for trains. We have stuff for RC cars, on-road, off-road, boats, helicopters, airplanes. We have all that there on the forum. We have an off-topic life section. We even have aquariums / ponds for those of you who really want to come and look at the, talk about aquariums, talk about fish ponds, that sort of stuff. We have everything there. Now, it is where our admin has to activate your, say, okay, you can be a member on the forum, but you sign up, and by signing up, you ask for permission to join. And all it is he just wants to make sure you're not a robot. That's it. He just don't want robot or bad people on there. But guys, we're all RC community. Y'all know the rules. Keep it friendly. That's all it is. We just want to keep it friendly there. That's pretty much it. But the question is, if y'all can find a tri-ball, a 10th scale tri-ball for an RC receiver hitch, that's the challenge, guys. I want a tri-ball because I got some, Nylent trailers. I have a Nylent boat trailer. I'm going to get a, I'm looking at a, Scale by Chris 3D printed kayak, something like that. It's either Scale by Chris or something. It's a 3D printed kayak I'm looking at. I'm going to put on that trailer for my, for a scale accessory to pull behind the truck because for kayak, throw it on a trailer. It's Georgia. We throw shit on trailers. I also have a Nylent horse trailer that I'm gonna, when I get time and paint, I'm gonna sand the green off of it and the sticker because it's old. I played with this stuff 20 years ago. I'm finally getting to reuse it for something else. But anyway, it's a Nylon Champions stock trailer. I'm gonna take and sand the green off of it and shoot it with some gray primer, and then put some white on it, paint it white, because it kind of looks like them little U-Haul trailers here in the U.S. that you'll see people hook up behind their little Honda Civics when they're moving across country. You know, that's kind of what it reminds me of, and that's what I'm going to use it for, is kind of like a little stock trailer. Well, not a stock trailer, but a little accessories trailer. You know, because as of right now, I've been using it for that. I have a hex wrench, a couple of toe straps, hex wrench and a couple of toe straps in a Ziploc bag I throw down in there, and a couple of extra batteries while I'm out trailing. Well, not when I'm trailing, when I'm just putting around here in the yard with it. For testing purposes, I've done that, and it's worked out pretty good. Now, Outlaw's running video, I do have a little bit of tweaking to do to Outlaw before I do that, and it's nothing bad. I just don't really, I'm just lazy and don't have time this past weekend to have done it, which is, what is it, like 24 bolts and 4 nuts. It's like 5 or 6 per wheel screws that hold the center cap on the wheel after you put the nut on. And I got to take the axle nuts off so I can pull the BF Goodrich tires off and put on the set I'm going to put on there, which is the Rock Stars for right now. Until I get another truck, I can run that out. Rock Stars. They're narrower than the BF Goodrich and they're taller. Being narrower and taller, they will give me a little bit more speed, but they will also put more ground pressure down. And Outlaw is becoming a very, very heavy truck. And the one modification on Outlaw I would love to do, but I'm not going to do it, is converting it to a leaf sprung suspension. But I'm not doing that because, well, that's more work on me, and the truck loses so much articulation by doing that. But anyways, but I'm still considering I'm not looking to retire Outlaw. Like I was saying with getting an SCX 10.2 kit, it's not to retire Outlaw, it's to, well, not to replace Outlaw, but to retire Outlaw so I can build Outlaw 2.0. And what it's going to do is use the same tires and wheels from Outlaw, tires and wheels you can buy all day long. And the bodies, you can buy them too. So I'll just have the bodies I can swap between the two trucks. And the 10.2 is going to be a heavy duty 4-wheel drive truck that'll go through about as many changes. And I'm still considering the like I said, this is an idea truck, and what I will do far as for buying a kit, the reason for I'm thinking about buying a kit is so I can have that kit, leave it in the box, put it on the shelf in my room, and then when I get ready to retire Outlaw completely, he goes on the shelf, that kit comes off, I build the kit on video so y'all can watch me build it, and then I'll go to running that truck. And when I retire Outlaw, so as I don't lose about $100 worth of electronics, I'll pull the electronics out of Outlaw that I have in it when I retire it, and that'll go in Outlaw 2.0. So it'll still be powered by the same power plant. It'll have the same ESC that's in him when he's retired, the same motor, and the same receiver. And some of y'all are like, well, why use wore out electronics? They won't be wore out. I'm not finished rebuilding Outlaw. Outlaw's not finished metamorphosizing into the truck I want. There are several bodies out there that I've looked at for Outlaw, and I have that problem like my friend Magnet. I don't know what I want him to be. Right now, he's at the 305mm or 12-inch wheelbase, and I've thought about buying a Bronco, an original first-gen Bronco, to keep him at the 305mm. But I've bought a set of links to where I can extend him out to the more common 12.3-inch wheelbase, which is the 312, 313mm wheelbase. So I can do a bigger truck body, because he is the truck I use as a recovery truck and have used as a recovery truck on multiple occasions. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here, guys. I'm getting a little hoarse and slightly dehydrated today. But, it's alright. I just ain't drank enough water. And I've been talking to y'all for almost 30 minutes. But I'm looking at, that's the short body, is the Bronco body. I'm also looking at a 12.3, early 80s or early 90s Bronco. The big one, like it. For that, they're both, I think it's the one I'm looking at. It's a 12.3 or 313, 312, 313 wheelbase body. The other Bronco body I'm looking at is a late 70s. A late 70s and early 80s Broncos. The late 70s is by everybody's favorite brand of RC to diss. I can't say nothing either way about this brand, but let's just say it starts with a T and ends with an S. Or as my friend Bull Gear RC, Uncle Lee, Bull Gear RC videos likes to do, he starts it with a T and ends it with 2 S's. Now, I'm not telling y'all what brand, but I have thought about their late 70s Bronco body, but for the complete body kit. Now, this is unpainted, but with the injection molded grille and the injection molded front end and the clear Lexan body. It's pretty ridiculous for the price. So, and then on top of that, I have to have paint and have that shipped in too. So, got to order the paint, have that shipped in, order the body, and have that shipped in. So, but anyway, that I have, and I've just about come down to it. Now, I know I've said on several occasions I like the old style Chevrolets, and I found one. It's by I want to say it's J Concepts. That is their 80s model GMC that I like. I like it, and the thought has crossed my mind about getting some styrene tubing, because with the heat gun it'd be easy to bend it, and then like MEK, I can get that at the hardware store. The styrene I have to order anyway. I have to order stuff anyways, no matter what. But J Concepts has that late, like they call it the 87 K1500. I thought about ordering that body and doing the bar work out of styrene. Still lightweight, but it'd give it the look and make that truck look like a certain 1980s TV show truck. That is one of the most beautiful paint jobs I have ever seen. But, I thought about that. I'd also thought about just Proline, their 78 K10 body. I thought about it. I don't like the fact that it's step side, but what the hell. Thought about it, and because it's for a 12th scale, is getting the cage for the Tamiya Clodbuster, because that body is technically a 12th scale body. Excuse me. Getting that cage and put on that Proline body, so it would give it the cage and all that, and probably would be the right height, because of the Tamiya body sits down a little deeper than the Proline body. But like I said, that was just that thought for doing that, and either do that to look like the Rockford Files truck, which is red on top with the white stripe and the white top of the cab. The Fall Guy, I think, was a little bit different shade of, it was more of a maroon than a red or something like that. But anyways, guys, y'all join the forums. Y'all come over there and look under Outlaw, Appalachian Outlaw, under the RC trailing crawling video. Magnatfied forums, trailing crawling section, trailing crawling of the RC section. Appalachian Outlaw is the area. Join the forums. Y'all can go there and look. You have to join to look. I mean, that's. I'm sorry, that ain't the way I have it. That ain't. You know, that ain't for me. That's the way. That's the way Magnet had it set up. Was you have to join to look at things. It keeps bots from being part of us. Guys, it's a small forum. I mean, small. I think when I looked at the site, it said 35 members total, or something like that. We're a very, very small group, but we do gaming. I also forgot that. We do gaming. We have simulation, racing, shoot first, ask questions later, and, you know, several others, you know, for pretty much any genre of game. Come on by, check us out, please. I really cannot recommend this forum enough, guys. Yeah, like I was saying, Outlaw. Back to what I was saying. On that thread, on the Magnatfied forum, I have pictures of what I wanted the truck to look, you know, ideas of what I was thinking about doing with the truck. And Magnet sent me back a GMC C1500 80s model GMC. That was the Indianapolis truck, the Indianapolis car hauler truck. Had the Pontiac Eagle painted on the hood, white, black SS stripes on it. Beautiful. And I'm not talking about the SS stripes that come up over the top of the truck. I'm talking about the ones that go down the side at the rocker panels. Those SS stripes, like the 90s models SS 454s had at the door if they were any other color but black. The black SS 454 was black, except for at the very back, just in front of the tail lights, it said SS 454 in red. In my area, that was not a popular truck. In fact, my understanding, most of the United States, that was not a popular truck, because most guys that looked at it said, why pay for a half ton with a 454 when I can get a 3/4 ton with a 454 and a long bed and heavier springs? So most people bought the 3/4 ton with the 454 and the automatic transmission instead of buying the SS 454 standard or short bed or long bed. Sorry, guys. It's been a busy weekend this past weekend. It has. Like I said, I'm filming this on Tuesday, the day after Labor Day. I've been busy the last few days. Been busy this morning too, so. But had a few minutes, cut some time, took some of it, cut some trail. I got hot, said the heck with the trail. I'll sit here and talk to y'all for a little while, and it is what it is. It's all fine, all good. Yeah. Trying to think what else I'm going to tell you besides that. Yeah, that was the ideas for that. Another body I've been looking at for Outlaw. They call it a 1500 body, but I wouldn't do it like a 1500. It's a Ram. It's a Proline Ram 1500 body. I have been looking at and thinking about, and the thought of it is I know everybody's like, blah, silver. I want to do it as a silver, but then I'm going to come back, and this is really going to push me to my extreme. Come back on the outside of the grill and bumper area and tape off extremely well. But, so, because the way I kind of want to, I don't know. I'm thinking about it anyways. Because one of the bumpers I'm looking at for redoing in the redo of Outlaw is I want one that comes on the frame and comes up and kind of curves around the front of the truck, because I kind of want to do with a more modern front end on it, so I can leave the stock bumper on the body and then have like a bull bar in front of it to protect the bumper, the radiator area and all that, and then Outlaw is a heavy pull truck, And part of the reason for Outlaw is because at the time we were still all Magnatfied had not been created yet. We were still all over at the RC Sparks Community Forum at the time. And one friend / forum member, this was for the photo comps. It was like June, July, something like that. It was the time of year. Said, hey, you know what? I want every RC to be taken. I want everybody to post a picture in front of a waterfall. And at the time, I'm like, whatever. I'm not doing nothing. Let me go see if I can find this. June or July. It's Georgia. We got snakes moving. And I ain't talking non-lethal snakes. I'm talking lethal snakes that move. Timber rattlers, water moccasins, copperheads, and there's a few more. Coral snakes may come up too, but I'm not talking like your Pacific black and white coral snake. No, I'm talking about your red and yellow kill a fellow, red and black friend of Jack snake. Yeah, we have two coral snakes, one that is lethal, one that is not. The red and black one is non-lethal. The red and yellow one is lethal. And the difference is between the two when we say red and black and red and yellow. The red and black is black stripe, red stripe, black stripe, yellow stripe, black stripe, red stripe. You see the pattern? Now, the lethal one is yellow stripe, red stripe, yellow stripe, black stripe, yellow stripe. He's more yellow than black. And yeah. And then we got several others that are lethal, but not by biting you. We have a lot of what we call hognose, or some people call them puff adders. But they're called hognose because they have a nose like a hog, and they'll root around in the dirt. He's about like a king snake. I mean, okay, he is venomous, but he cannot hurt humans because he's a rear-fang snake. Mice, frogs, stuff like that, he's lethal. But how he hurts a human is he'll get into the bushes and he will intentionally keep his head and his tail hidden. Because he knows if you see his head, you'll know he's not a venomous snake, and he knows if you see his tail, you'll know he's not what he's trying to pretend to be. And he'll take his tail when you get close and scare him. He'll take his tail and he'll start slapping bushes with it, and it almost sounds like a rattlesnake. But when you do see his face, a lot of times he'll flare out his neck like a cobra. I haven't actually seen one do it, but I've heard that they do it. And another thing I have watched those snakes do is they'll act like sticks. They'll come up, and if they see you, they'll quit moving and they'll lay very, very still until you look at them and look away, and then they'll move again. And then they'll drive you insane if you watch one, the way they do it. And that I have seen. And I have been told they'll roll over and play possum. So, there are... Anyways, it was outlawed because of what I was doing, and what I was doing at the time. I went trying to take a picture of the truck parked next to a waterfall, and unfortunately I couldn't get a good waterfall picture. The stream behind the house just didn't have enough water going and enough elevation drop in one spot for me to get a good waterfall picture. I mean, yeah, I had sticks, water just dribbling over the sticks. It just wasn't enough coming through it. It really wasn't. So, but anyway, what else I got? I don't know. I don't want to talk to y'all about those. And that's how Outlaw got his name. But projects, that's crossing my mind. Also on the projects, project shop truck. Not that nothing's been done to the truck. It still runs, does great. I thought about modifying this truck beyond all belief. From finding out that those are friction shocks, because I thought I'm not good that. Let's put it like this: I don't have as many years in RC experience as a lot of other guys do, and I haven't took the shocks apart off of the shop truck. I've done what I've been told by several others in the RC community to just take and play with the shocks until you get them loosened up, and that's what I've done. Now, they did feel a little springy to me, and I wasn't crazy about that, but I've got it where the trucks does articulate. Now, Magnet, the best way I can tell you is to eliminate the torque steer. A metal servo horn is not going to do anything but make your frame. This hand's your axle, this hand's your frame. That's literally what's going to happen when you turn the tires. Your frame's going to move, not your axles. And you're going to need to take on those top links and watch the bolts. Since you're planning on since you've put a higher torque servo on it, you need to watch the bolts on the upper links, because with the torque of that new servo with the metal horn, that top 3 link's going to be wanting to twist on you, and those nuts are going to come loose. So you need to watch that when you're out trailing with the metal servo horn. That's why I told you when you asked me what my thoughts of it was to replace it with either heavy plastic or a metal upper link, is because that link's going to twist, and as it that upper link twist over, the chassis rails themselves are going to move from one side to the other. The best thing I could see to actually make the HGP 40 whatever perform better as far as for the steering end of it is to take the axle for the take the steering axle off of the truck and get you something from like a Remo Hobby axle and put under it, which that might be an idea for you, buddy. Swap it out for get you some upgraded axles for the Remo, and take the axles off of the Remo and put on your saltwater crawler. It's a thought for you. It might work, might not, but it would be better because you don't have as much torque twist. But then again, just upgrade the links, like the SCX10, the original SCX10 3-link, because it's not a horseshoe shaped, it's a V-shaped. For the 3-link, it's V-shaped, and you can put extenders in it, so that might eliminate some of the torque twist. Now, I still haven't measured the length on the steering linkage, but I would upgrade. But that would be something, if you're talking about having problems with the steering, that's something I would look at upgrading as well. I myself put a long throw aluminum servo horn on there, and my biggest complaint about it is the chassis going one way and the axle going the other. Here's your wheels. You turn your wheels. Well, the wheels are still like this, and the frame's off over here, and my wheels are still straight. The only other complaint is your wheels are in a bit of a bind because you have them straight, and you have them turned, and your truck's in a complete bind, and you're trying to steer it straight. Well, instead of your wheels turning, your chassis is going to move instead of turning your wheels. You're going to move your chassis over. It becomes annoying at times. It really does. But it's a driving experience. I mean, to say this on all the cheaper RCs, they are truly a driving experience. Now, I'm not comparing Shop Truck to Outlaw to Bud 90 because none of the three drive the same way. I would never, in any kind of a showdown, which, by the way, guys, Magnat's doing one on his channel, supposedly, coming soon, a showdown between an HG, a SCX10, and a Remo Hobby. Now, I like the Remo Hobby. In fact, it's something I had thought about, and I'm still kind of kicking the idea around. Not as a replacement truck for anything, but as just another beater, like Shop Truck as HGP 402, and the Remo Hobby is Shop Truck 2.0, and yeah, do it up with like a round body or something and make it look fancy. But then again, who knows? Do an old Chevrolet body on it. It's a beater. Who cares, right? Yeah. But I was telling you, on Shop Truck, I'm actually looking at doing a hard body for that. Still drill the holes on it so I can still set it down and clip it on, or go to another 280 millimeter wheelbase body, and so I can swap them out as I please, because it really is just, the reason I named it Project Shop Truck, it's a beater. It really is. It's something that is going to look like, basically I bought it to have something to just drive, because Outlaw was down with blown bearings and Bud 90 was out with busted steering, and I wanted something to drive. Well, no, actually at the time, Bud 90 still had working steering. The body was destroyed, and I didn't want to just be driving the chassis around. So the chassis for what? Anyway, so I did find me some more body post for Bud 90. I'm thinking about ordering, but I'm at the point of just cash flow problems, guys. That's the thing. We're just slow right now, which is fine. I just don't have the extra funds for the RC stuff at the moment, but hey, I'm just looking at whatever. Because the way I look at it when it comes down to the RC stuff, you always look at your options. Always. Because it never hurt to dream. Now, the only time it does is whenever you've been dreaming about one, and then all of a sudden you notice right there next to the description it says discontinued, and it's like, oh, now I have to go spend more money for this product because they're about to go through the freaking roof. And I had that happen when I got into RC. One car I was looking at, it was a kind of a Volkswagen Beetle. I can't even remember what the devil the name of the company was. They were out for only like maybe a year or two. They wasn't out long at all. They had a unique short core style wheel and tire, being 1.9s on the outside and 2.2s on the inside, and you couldn't just replace them with anything because the fronts had the bearings in them and the rears were hex drive. You could replace the rears like it wasn't nothing. But it was a 2-wheel drive Beetle sort of thing. I liked it. I went looking it up to try and find one, and I found out that it was a discontinued item when I was looking at it. And this would be about 4 years ago. At that time, Ultimate RC hadn't made a video in like, what, a year? 2 years? Something like that. 2-3 years, something like that. That video was about 4 or 5 years old. So that car was dead long before I ever got into the hobby grade end of the RC hobby. So, but the Torment was one of his fairly newer videos, and I looked it up. Then I looked over at RC Sparks, watched Medic run his on his big 5th scale track, and I'm like, ooh, that looks fun. That would be truly a big mistake of an RC that I've ever bought. Not because it's a bad truck. In fact, it's a great truck. The reason it was a mistake is because it was a 2-wheel drive truck. I should have bought the 4-wheel drive option. That was my mistake. But, it is what it is. I still feel like I probably should have bought the 4-wheel drive and had that because, well, my area, there's a lot of mud. And to tell y'all this, actually, when I bought my Torment, I was looking at a 2-wheel drive Traxxas Slash. I really was. I was looking at a Traxxas Slash, 2-wheel drive, and again, it's same situation. I was looking at it because I said, ooh, I want something kind of fast. I want something. And I'd watched Ultimate RC, and he talked about, yeah, you could take something like a Slash and make a trail truck out of it. So I thought about that, and that's why I looked at the ECX Torment, because of that. The cheapest Slash at the time was $300. I found this Torment for under $200. It was like $186.99, something like that. It wasn't quite $190. I bought that, and then a couple months later, I bought me a battery, an additional 1800 milliamp hour nickel metal hydride, and a speed charger, so I could charge the batteries faster, so I could keep running it. So I could charge up both batteries, let the battery cool, and swap, and and keep an eye out, keep a check on my motor so as it wouldn't overheat and burn out. Well, that Dynamite 15 turn that was in the ECX, it burned out. So I did swap it for a Traxxas product. The only thing I can tell you that I can honestly say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I love is the Traxxas Titan 12-turn motor. I can tell you that beyond a shadow of a doubt. I own one. I put one in my ECX Torment. And I love the way that 12-turn motor runs. It's smooth. And the thing is, I think I have a 19-tooth pinion on that motor with a, like, 90-something pinion, 90-something tooth spur gear. And when you start, you can start off slow with it just to get it coasting and then ramp up to high speed, and that thing is smooth all the way through it. Now, if I had some better gripping short course tires that were practically slicks, because mostly all I do with the truck now is on-road stuff. Well, when I was running, it was on-road stuff and a little bit of jumping, some roots in the front yard, you know. I had thought about doing the, you know, I had thought about getting a new body for it and putting some wheels on it and just, well, putting some on-road tires on it and running some Proline on-road tires. In fact, back then I was looking at the whole Proline website for everything. Now I've gone to looking at the hobby store website I use for everything, because the original website I ordered my ECX from was horizonhobby.com. I ordered directly from Horizon Hobby because it was created by Horizon Hobby. And at the time I looked up Traxxas / and besides Traxxas's website, which is always way too expensive, and $286 for a 2-wheel drive Slash with battery. Well, actually the one I looked at did not have a battery. The 2-wheel drive Slash I looked at that was like $286 did not come with a battery, but they claimed it was ready to run. And now I will say this, I have been looking at online, I've been looking at buying a Slash roller ever since. The reason I'm looking at buying a Slash roller is you get a roller that's everything minus the electronics for like $200. I mean, and you can get a 4-wheel drive Slash that's everything but the electronics for like $200. That's on eBay. I mean, I've been looking at them. But I've been looking for something else, though. I've been looking for a Traxxas Telluride. It's shorter, it's narrower, but it's still 10th scale. And it's not really a crawler as much so as a trail truck, or Traxxas' take on a trail truck, their first attempt at it. And I like it. I liked what I've seen of them. I have no experience driving any Traxxas product. I just like the way it looks. I like the design. I like the 4-wheel independent suspension. I like the, and what is it, the Rustler, I think it is, the 10th scale monster truck. I like it. In fact, I have found one, but they're still expensive. I mean, extremely expensive, guys. Hang on. I'm trying to get this sweat out of my eyes. The humidity is ridiculous. The heat is ridiculous. And the humidity here in Georgia is about to get a whole lot worse. When I checked, I'll say about 3 hours ago, when I checked the weather, windy.com, because I was looking, and Dorian had finally gotten off of Grand Bahama Island. I mean, it was the eye wall was sitting just off the coast last night when I looked at it last. This morning it's maybe 50 miles north, so it's moving north. The wind and the rain has started pounding Florida, parts of southern Florida, when I had looked at it last. But, well, then again, when I've been watching, the wind has been pounding the crap out of Florida lately, so guys, my heart goes out to those guys down there in the Bahamas, man. It really does. Those guys have taken a beating. I know that it is rough for those guys. I mean, it hits here in the United States where we can rebuild. This ain't nothing, you know. We're one of these. Okay, so it rips the wall. The wind rips the wall off the hotel. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Get some more plaster. We'll put it back. Down there, I know those guys are like, oh, how are we ever going to recover? This just killed us. Because it levels, you know, it'll level in Bahamas, it can level a hotel, and there goes that whole city's revenue, because that's the Bahamas' primary revenue is from the hotels, from the vacationers, and it kills them every year. It really does hurt them. When it shuts down hotels, it hurts. I'm from a small town where you shut down a grocery store and the whole town